Okie dokie. It is the second week of April now, and we are getting ready for the 2023 cotton plot. So I've just gone and checked or reactivated the well, de-winterized everything, got everything going, and irrigation is fine. It isn't leaking as far as I'm aware. And I'm just starting to pull up the plants. I realized I could pull them straight out the ground a couple months ago, and then I finally got some time now today. I was talking to a school group about the site, and I just started pulling up plants. We got about 2.5 rows done. My plan is to just let this settle for about a month, and then come in here first, spray all this betony, as much of the weeds that are poking through as I can, with some glyphosate, some triclopyr. Come back out here, restick everything, drop some bricks down on this to just make the fabric stop doing that. And then I'm gonna tamp back down all the dirt in these holes. Come in here with a seed dibber and just dib, and then drop some seeds down in there, and then hopefully shouldn't have to pull up this fabric so long as the irrigation isn't exploded somewhere. That's the plan at the very least. I do not want to open the rat's nest to pulling this back up. So we'll see whether or not we can make this do without pulling it up again. Not sure what I'm going to do about the lack of fertilization. We'll see how the plants do without it. Might be able to do a drip thing or a foliar feeding or something like that. We'll see. But soil looks way better being underneath this stuff than what it was just being left fallow. So it is helping. The fabric is helping immensely. Just white is not the way to go. But anyway, I'm trying to pull these things up. That guy is fighting me, which is why I built this thing. This is a root cutting plug shovel. Just took a pipe, cut a V out of it, splayed it a little bit, sharpened it, put a little notch in it, and that'll allow me to just go in there and just kind of work my way around the roots right through the holes in the fabric, like so. The only trouble is, I forgot about the whole irrigation being basically under the plant. So I have to be super careful not to cut the irrigation, because that would suck a lot. Really should have offset that stuff, but is what it is. So we will see how well I can use this and whether or not we cut the irrigation. So I'm gonna have to root in there and find it and make sure it's out of the way before I get in there and start cutting. But that one won't come up. I'm not gonna blow an air disc in my back trying to get it up. So we're gonna cut on it and just hope for the best. All right, so I spent about another 30 minutes. We're down to about 3/4 of the way done. But just tore a massive blister on my hand before it even formed. And there's like a good 1/4 inch of play there underneath my skin. So I'm gonna stop while I'm already well behind. I'm not making that any worse. Oh boy, I have not been doing yard work for about, like 9 months. I'm already losing my calluses. But anyway, we're most of the way done. We just have the worst subsection left and a couple other plants. I could probably finish this row over here, but I'm not going to push this hand any further, or I won't be able to use it for a week. So yeah, just that left to go. Pull those up, let soil sit for a bit, spray everything, make myself a seed dibber, come out here and sow right into the ground, and that should hopefully be the end of it. All right, well, it's a couple days later, but I came back out here with my calluses mostly healed up and gloves this time, and made short work of the last little 5% that was left, and looking good. Now I just need to haul these plants out of here and dump them in the field. Hopefully this rain will wash everything down to the alleys, clean everything off, show me where all of the poking up landscape staples are. Get out here, put some bricks on it. I'm gonna make me a seed dibber, get some seeds down in here, and it should be it for the cotton. Irrigation is working, hooked it up, tested it, no leaks so far. So should just be a matter of cleaning the place up a bit and putting seeds in the ground. All right, it's the end of April. There's all the old cotton, one big pile. Let's come back and get that with the manure fork. Probably gonna run out of time today. It's not even 2 o'clock. Should have enough time, but it's probably gonna rain. I'm probably going to stop caring. But we got all of that out of here. I've gone through and staked down as many of these little suckers as I can find to try and flatten this out. And every time you look, you find more of them. And we've got the truck loaded up, cinder blocks and old bricks, and we're gonna do the same thing that got done with that far bed over there. And we're going to try and put one cinder block sort of near the outer quadrant of each row, and then if I've got more, I should have enough. I don't know if I brought enough. Then add another one here on the inside quadrant, and put bricks on the inside throughout, and that should hopefully hold the thing down, or at least a man can pray. And then the only thing left to do after that is come in here, do a little bit of raking, get all the smuts off the top, spray these weeds, tamp in the holes, and dip in the seeds. So I'm gonna get to it before it starts raining. Okie dokie, there's a lot of bricks moved. Test out the irrigation. I'm not seeing water come out of the lines, which is a little worrying, but I'll assume it just takes it a while to get the air out. Those labyrinthine passages are kind of, they don't self-bleed, so we'll just give it a while and we'll see what it does. Don't need it to work right now. I don't have anything in the ground yet, but I just set the irrigation up to do 10 minutes a day. But there's all the bricks down, got all the stakes in that I could. That should keep the fabric where it's supposed to be and keep the weeds from lifting it up. Each one of those cinder blocks, it don't look like it. Each one of those sons of bitches weighs like 45 pounds. They did not get the cheap cinder blocks like my grandfather did when they built the porch on this house. These are the full-on, there's crushed quartz and shit in here. This is not the Coke cinder blocks that weigh 25 pounds. These are the cement blocks that weigh about 50. So anyway, what I'm trying to say there's at least 200 pounds on each row. So they're not gonna go anywhere. And I mean, just having these bricks down here did a world of good for these. So that's it for today. I was gonna try and see if I could plant, but I think I'm gonna come back, put the gloves on, and just pull up all the live weeds out of here. And then we'll let this settle for a couple weeks, and we'll come back and plant it in a week or two. Okie dokie, it's 1 week later. Just come out here and pulled all the weeds out, all the holes, stepped on them, tamped them in. We got about 500 seeds, mostly clean lint, and our seed dibber. So we're gonna go around and put 4 seeds in each hole, try and put them in about a ½ inch deep, then come back and tamp them. And we'll see whether the seed dibber's worth it, or if I should just be sticking them in by hand. We'll find out. All right, cotton's planted. Now we wait. All right, it's a week later, and we've got cottons, so that's a good sign. Irrigation's been off, so they haven't been getting irrigated, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. Did get some decent rain. Well, mediocre rain. So that's a good sign. We're getting rapid germination again. It's a little more than 50%, I think. Still really high germination rate, it looks like. I'm getting multiple 4s. Good deal. And the bricks are working. Fabric's still coming up, but we're off to a really good start. Really good start. Yep. All right, it's May 16th. It's been 10 days now, and I see plenty of cottons. Let's see. We may just have one. Nope, one gap. Dang. We got one empty space. That guy's cutworms got that guy. Got both of them. Oh God, got all 3 of them. Still counts, but let's see. This is looking pretty dang old good. Oh, 2 gaps. Oh, nope. There's one right there. Hello, is this one? We got one trying in there. And a bunch of Mexican clover getting in it. Still counts. There's one trying right there. That might be a bit damaged. Still counts. And that looks like a full-on gap. So it's 2 gaps. there. Well, two gaps out of 100 spaces. That's 98% coverage. That's looking pretty damn good. And most of these have four coming up in every single one, or at least two. There's only a handful that just have one. So that's really good. That is really good in only 10 days. So we still got like another week and a half, still at least another 10 days that stuff can germinate. So that is extremely good coverage and a very good germination rate. So that's good to see. Seeds are still viable. I'm still using the 2020 seeds. So these are 3 years old at this, well, 2 years old at this point. Everything's doing good. We had some archaeologists out here and they kept shutting off my irrigation. So the irrigation has been off, but it's back on now. So hopefully that'll help these guys along a little bit. They don't really need it yet, but we're lacking in the rain department. We always are. So I'm hoping that'll bring things around. And if the weeds start coming up, we'll kill the irrigation again. I've only got it going at a 15-minute interval at the moment every morning. So nothing crazy. All right, it is the 25th. So I planted on Cinco de Mayo. So this is now 19 days after sowing. So 19 days of germination potential. And it just went through and collected data. And we've only got one gap at the moment. So we have 99 out of 100 spaces filled. And one gap was over here, I believe. Yeah, right here. And it looks like it was either sour shin or windlash. Probably sour shin, considering the ones on either side are fine. So that's good. Just off the cuff guesstimate, it looks like it's about 75% germination rate, which is about the norm. I think that's about what it was last year or the year before. Or somewhere in the 80-85%, so that's still good considering this is 2.5-year-old stock. And yeah, plants are looking good. You know, that's like a 2-week-old plant. So this is almost 3 weeks that the seeds have been in the ground. So that plant, you know, I saw the first, you know, generally they don't come up for the first 7 days. So that plant is at most 12 days old. And, you know, it's already on putting out its 4th true leaf. So that's really good. Much better than what it was last year, or well, in 2019, the first year. So plants are growing like weeds, the ones that have come up. The weeds themselves are still growing like weeds, as you can see. They're my interesting row topography, but cinder blocks keeping them down. So hopefully they'll stay decently suppressed. I did have to pull something up, but I'm not seeing a lot of grass or nutsedge coming up, which is the bane of my existence. You know, it's stuff like cudweed and Mexican clover, blackberries, and that kind of stuff, which I'm not too worried about. Not a lot of grass. If I just have Mexican clover leaking out of these gaps, I'm honestly fine with that. I'll just let them go. They're a good pollinator plant. So yeah, this I'm not too keen about, which is sand spurs. So we'll do one of those. But looking pretty good thus far. That's it. Just a quick little update. Germination's good. Plants are good. Oh, no deer browse on the plants yet, but we do have deer browse in the plot and on the edge of the plot. As you can see right there on that horseweed and on this, is that ragweed? Yeah, I believe that's ragweed. Could be Biden's bipinnata. I think this is Biden's. Yeah, that's Biden's. That was ragweed back there. So horseweed there. So we do have deer browse right here, primarily on the south side, which is not a good sign. I'm pretty sure it's just a fawn who's just walking in here, because someone reported there was a fawn hanging out right over there the other day. So it's fawning season. Probably fawn. We'll probably need to add another rung to the fence down on the bottom, well, actually I had a rung there and I took it off because it got hit by a weed eater and blew up. But probably need to add that back just to keep the fawn out. Once they learn they can get in here, they don't unlearn. So would really like him to not eat the cotton. So anyway, I digress. That's a future Tom problem. But it's a quick little update for today, 20 days in. And looking good, looking good. Fingers crossed. All right, so real quick, we're at the office. I just did all my data entry. And as you can see, we got pretty good rates. You know, my gut guess of 75% on the germination rate was pretty dang close, and so far we've got about 97% of the plants that have survived. Additionally, we had 2 extra plants on row 4. For whatever reason, we had 5 plants come up. I'm going to assume they're volunteers, or I might have planted 5. I don't know. Probably just seeds that fell, you know, out of the debris into the hole and are just germinating. That would be my gut guess. But anywho, that's pretty decent so far. If you like what I'm doing here, consider giving the video a like, comment. Tell me something you like about Sea Island cotton, something that really interests you about the plant, about its history, about its ecology, about its, you know, historic use, and you know what it was used for in textiles, any of that stuff. You know, tell me your cool, crazy new cotton gin idea. And if you want to see the rest of this work I'm doing, you gotta subscribe. So smash the big gray button over there. Until next time, Tom out.